Welcome to Vinyl Verdict. I'm Adam,
I'm Jamie.
And I'm Shea.
and today we're listening to Shea's pick.
This is
What
an
did you
easy.
bring onto
This is
the
an
show
easy
today,
commute for
Shea?
you, wasn't it?
Very easy commute.
Yeah.
It was really great. I got to have coffee and get ready. So I brought Twilight, the emotion. Oh,
Yeah, it is emotional. The
Yeah,
emotional picture. The
stop.
emotional picture soundtrack.
I knew. I've never done this before. So I brought Twilight, the original motion picture soundtrack, released originally in November on 2008.
Jamie, what's your experience with Twilight?
So I've never read the books and I've never seen all of any of the movies. I've seen parts
Wow.
of a couple of them. In November 2008, I was about to turn 20, so I kind of had already miled out of the Twilight. Like I wasn't like a shitty teen,
Yeah.
so or probably more accurately like a shitty preteen.
I was gonna say it really shows our age difference. I talk a lot about we'll get to it, but I talk a lot about being I was at the perfect age. I was
100%.
preteen, twihard. I was right in it.
Ooh, Twihard.
That's the
ooh.
term, baby.
But I was aware of who Stephanie Meyer was because I think Time Magazine named her one of the 100 most important people in 2008.
No.
And at that time, I got Time Magazine delivered to me because we got junk mail at my apartment, and one of the junk mails was Publishers Clearinghouse. And I
Oh,
was like, which is very, really, really dates me because Publishers Clearinghouse just went out of business. So I remember reading that issue and being like, Stephanie Meyer.
my God! At the time, just for some
Yeah,
context,
right.
like
But I mean, Twilight started off the whole sparkly vampire nonsense, right? Like, so it was that, and then when did Vampire Diaries come out?
Vampire Diaries is
it was honestly around the same
yeah.
era. Like Twilight kind of came out when vampires were back. There was like a big thing of vampires in like the 80s and 90s. I'm
Yeah.
thinking like classic Anne Rice
Yeah,
sort of
sure.
vampires. And then in the late 2010s, it just kind of came back of this resurgence
Kind
of
of came on
like
the heels of like Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah,
Buffy had just
iconic.
ended. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the one that was on HBO? The one with
Oh,
vampires?
by the guy who made Glee, True Blood or something.
True Blood.
Ah.
Yeah. All of those things came out around.
Vampire Diaries was 2009. True Blood was 2008.
Okay, so they're all roughly, equidistant from each other. I don't
Mhm.
know. I remember girls in my program liking watching True Blood, but that was because True Blood was more horny than all the other ones because it was on HBO. Or was it on Showtime? I
Totally.
can't remember. Anyway,
It was
one of
on
those.
it was on cable. I don't remember.
Yeah,
And Twilight is specifically young adult
it is
book, right? It's not quite into the adult fantasy vampire monster
Yeah, it's
era.
the Hunger
It's
Games of vampires, right?
totally like I remember getting into Twilight and my mom trying to connect with me. She's like, I read Anne Rice, and I was like, Anne Rice is too adult. I want something that just appeals to my 12-year-old nonsense brain,
Mhm.
like that's
Yeah.
what I wanted. I don't want this adult Anne Rice stuff. Like, give me tension, give me pining.
Yeah, I think Twilight really kicked off all of
Yeah.
the vampire craze because that Twilight originally came out in like 2006 or something.
Yeah,
2005, and then I remember seeing it for the first time. I remember seeing people reading it for the first time when I was in 2006, 2007,
okay.
because that's when I saw people at school reading it.
Mhm.
And then there was a movie like a year later. Like it was absolutely huge, and it was not just huge for young adults. It was also a very popular book for adults. It was probably like one of the biggest
And then
romance novel events.
Sure.
Like
It also spawned 50 Shades of Grey, right? Because that's
Of
fan
course.
fiction based on,
yeah,
like, vaguely based on.
Edward and Bella's relationship
Right.
in an like alternate universe.
It's okay. This is a strange one because like these are things like I'm aware of, but like I don't watch them. Isn't is there like a modern one like those After I Fell movies that are like on like Prime now, where it's like it's vaguely like the girl is dating Harry Styles, but Harry Styles goes to her high school, kind of thing. It's kind of dumb. It's like some hot British guy go like lives in their like small American town, and it's basically that, but for modern times.
Are you asking if that's what 50 Shades of Grey is, or if that's what
No,
Twilight is?
I'm just saying, like, is this like a genre thing where like hot dude, possibly British?
What is interesting and what you're kind of touching on, I, sorry, it's kind of embarrassing just how much I know about Twilight as like a full human, a full adult
Oh,
human
you're
now.
our expert, so you have to know.
Yeah, here I am. Shea is here specifically for context. But what is important to note about like when it comes to the plot and the narrative of Twilight, eh, the book, but also the series in general, is that Stephanie Meyer has a Mormon upbringing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you really delve into like the psychology of Edward, the psychology of like wanting this bad dark thing and this forever thing, like it's entrenched in this Mormon religious mindset, and it's like very important that Stephanie Meyer grew up Mormon, and throughout the entire series of the books, at least you can really see it. You and I watched
It's
a video essay on this.
yeah,
That
it's kind of like it's like almost kind of like a hyper hardcore abstinence thing. Like the whole crux of the issue is like you cannot be together, and if you do, things will be forever changed.
Yeah.
Like you will be no longer redeemable,
mm-hmm.
right? If you really deep down, like you can't be the vampire can't be with them because the vampire will kill them, right? So
Yeah.
it is this like there's like a very there's these like looming religious and conservative cultural ideals that kind of exist over top of like, or I guess maybe underneath, like kind of a subtext
Mm-hmm.
that's really weird that also results in it being like a kind of effective romantic tension,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because it is like kind of a, like a, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I read, so I read. Oh, this is weird. For the purpose of this podcast, I read a blog post that Stephanie Meyer put up where she detailed why she wrote the book, and it came to her in a dream,
Mm-hmm.
and she wrote what is chapter 13 in the book, and then wrote the end, and then was just like, well, I guess I got to write a beginning too, and then went back and wrote the previous 12 chapters after finishing the book.
Huh. So
I recall
what
this
happens in
lore.
chapter 13?
I think that's
Is it like
I
in
think
the
that's when they
forest?
finally it's the I think it's following.
too soon. No, chapter 13. The
I
prom
don't know.
is
Yeah.
at the end.
It's a type of bankruptcy, it says here.
I don't.
That's
It's not what we're doing.
that's when it's when he's in the meadow in the forest. Edward demonstrates his
Yeah.
speed and strength to Bella in a meadow to show how
When
dangerous he is.
that's the when the lion fell in love with the lamb moment. That's when Edward finally reveals himself
This is the
to.
skin of a killer.
Yeah, this is the skin of a killer, Bella. Your blood is like my own personal brand of heroin. Now I'm just thinking of all the iconic lines. My skin is tingling. I'm so excited to talk
You know
about
what's,
this.
a lot of my notes have to do with what the comments are on the YouTube videos for the songs from all these, and like some of the videos went up like 16 or 17 years ago,
Yeah.
and which is like when the movie came out, right? And like all these like presumably now adults are saying things like, "Man, I hope this is what romance is like when I grow up."
No, you don't hope that.
No,
You
no.
hope that right now. You do not hope that.
Does anyone here feel like this is how like it's supposed to be, like the most romantic date you've ever been on? It's like,
It
please stop.
it's a toxic, unhealthy relationship. It is not a good bar to set for you and
No,
your any sort of future current romantic ideals or goals, but it does hit. Like there's
it
still
checks boxes.
it
Yeah.
checks boxes. It
Yeah.
does. And I'll repeat this throughout this episode, but
Mm.
there is a lot of nostalgia wrapped up in this for me heavily.
Yeah.
So I'm coming in with a bias. Let's just be very clear.
This is definitely chatting to strangers on Omegle soundtrack music.
It's an interesting.
It's not quite that dirty. Let's be clear. Like it's still again, it's YA, it's young adult.
Yeah.
Like even the sexiest part of the whole series, spoiler alert.
The creepy baby.
No, that's the sexiest part of the series is the creepy baby.
don't-
You nicknamed my baby
Hold the hell on.
You nicknamed my baby
Jamie.
after the Loch Ness monster?
Also a great line. No, but when they do get married and when Edward and Bella finally do have sex, she's
Mm,
still a human, he's still a vampire. Even that scene is basically a fade to black scene. Like it's
nice.
a YA series and it's just filled with tension and pining and what it could be and I can't, but I want to, but you'll die. Like it's all just the contrast and the clashing of immortal versus mortal.
I think it also resonates like really deeply with a group of people that are kind of learning to grasp life, but still feel that so much of it is out of their control, right? Like if
Mm,
you're a junior high student or high schooler, you have a lot of capability and intelligence, but you are still very much bound by what people are telling you to do.
Mm,
So this kind of the rebelliousness and the stakes of the romance kind of it makes sense that it resonates with like young folks.
mm-hmm, absolutely.
But we spent a lot of time talking about
Hold on.
the book. Okay, Shay, keep going.
that's fine. Yeah. Why don't you? Sorry, I cut you off early, but why don't you tell us why you picked it and like what makes it special and all that fun
Absolutely. So as I said before, I chose this album to bring into this episode because mainly of my history with it.
stuff?
I was a preteen and a fully fledged twihard when this soundtrack came out. I brought it on here because also the soundtrack just slaps in general, especially as a young preteen. I feel like this album, I give a lot of credit to this album because of in affecting how my music taste developed. Similar to how, like, as a kid playing video games like Rock Band or Guitar Hero greatly expanded and influenced my long term music taste personally, because I was such a Twilight fan, a true tween femme twihard at the time.
Mm,
This album was truly instrumental in developing my music taste, and in my biased opinion, a lot of it still like stands strong today. But I also wanted to bring it to you two because I truly think that even for listeners outside of the context of the film and the twihard of it all, you still get a journey. Don't laugh at me, Jamie. This is my reasoning.
no, no, no. The Twilight thing makes me chuckle every time you say
It's a brand I wear proudly. For years I was ashamed, but then I like hit my mid-20s and I was like, actually, no, I still love this.
it.
So yeah, I think that even without the context of the film, which I'll be giving lots of context today, but I really do still think you get a journey. There's a lot of this awakening tension. There's the emotional struggle, the love, the longing, the pining I was talking about earlier. There's like a resolution, a bittersweet resolution at the end. It's a soundtrack that really leads into emotional narration, even though the soundtrack itself does not follow the timeline of the actual movie. Like
Mm.
the first song is in the middle of the movie, actually. I still think it leads into a lot of emotional narration. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to sharing this with all of
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something that I remember my mind being blown when I found out that Radiohead was in the Twilight soundtrack. Like they're not on this compilation, but
Yeah.
the first song of the credits is 15 Step from Radiohead.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, which I was like, "What?" And then I slowly found like more songs that I was like already a fan of like ended up in this soundtrack like as I like Muse's Supermassive Black Hole
Mm-hmm.
or Iron and Wine's Flightless Bird American Mouth. And then I was like, "Wait, what? Why are all these good songs in this garbage movie?"
Mm.
And
Mm.
it
Did
as
you
it
think
turned
it was a garbage movie at the time though, because it was actually a garbage movie, or just because like
I don't know, I never saw it, but girls liked it. So ew.
sexism
Stinky.
as it at
Yeah,
its
yeah,
finest
like
team?
oh yeah, and so like it was interesting, and so I had like actually checked out the soundtrack because there's actually like quite a few good, like really good songs on here, and in the soundtracks overall.
Mm.
All of the soundtracks are, or at least for the first three movies, are handled by Alexandra Patsavis.
She also did the OC and Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah,
Oh,
and like
Yeah.
she's the musical director.
she's a
Okay.
musical director as well as like eventually like a
So,
producer for a lot of the shows. And she was kind of like she selected songs for shows and like made them become famous again. Like Chasing Cars like had like a resurgence by Snow Patrol because it appeared in Greatest Anatomy, or How to Save a Life by The Fray
Yeah.
became popular again because of being in like the OC or something.
On this one, Collective Soul had a resurgence because
yeah.
Stephanie Meyer loves Collective Soul,
Mm-hmm.
which tracks because she's old.
Yeah, it's crazy. I remember seeing Collective Soul. I was like, you mean like the Shine, the band that made Shine?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Did they also write No Headlights? Is that their song?
I don't know.
But the
Or
soundtrack
One
did
Headlight?
the soundtrack in general, to what you were speaking to, Adam, it did help like either launch or just
No,
like
that's the
boost
Wallflowers.
careers of lots of indie artists like Muse, Iron and Wine, Collective Soul, Blue
Mm.
Foundation, bringing them to a more mainstream awareness via a
Two
mostly,
two different Paramore songs?
yeah, written exclusively for Twilight, but bringing it into a more mainstream awareness via a teen audience. Like, we'll talk about this when we go into the songs, but I had no idea, zero idea who Collective Soul was, who a Blue Foundation was when I was like 11 or 12. I had zero
Mhm.
idea. Yeah, and this album really helped me get into the more moody indie genre at
It's
that
just
age.
yeah, some of the songs on here are sort of vaguely emo, and then you get a Linkin Park song. Appar Apparently that Linkin Park song is, like, the 2nd song in the credits?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's an interesting one to put on the soundtrack if it has, like, almost no part.
Like 4 of the songs on here are like the credit songs.
Oh,
Not
It
fascinating.
four, three.
3?
At least three.
Yeah, it's like it is kinda weird.
Yeah.
But I think there's like, like
They don't have any specific plot point associated with
and
them. They
also
just
like then like licensing's a whole thing. You can get licensing for the movie, but then you have to get a separate licensing for the soundtrack.
yeah, that's
And
correct.
an
Yeah.
artist might be like,
Mm.
"Don't like sell our track." Like I wonder
The
I wouldn't be surprised if because Radiohead was doing the whole pay what you want
mm,
thing for In Rainbows that they were like, "We're not going to let you take our song and charge $20 for like an album." That's
um,
my guess. Or they just picked it and they went like they could have made it longer. It was the CD era. That They probably weren't thinking about the vinyl disc, even though there was a limited run pressing of this soundtrack that came out in 2008.
yeah, this album is even the extended edition is only an hour long.
Yeah,
This one, I believe, is like 48 minutes or something like that.
fits on a single LP.
Yeah. There speaking of musical licensing, there are 3 songs that are not on Spotify. Farrell's "Go All the Way Into the Twilight" does not appear on Spotify. "Never Think" by Pattinson is not on Spotify, and neither is the instrumental track "Bella's Lullaby." That's that's not on
Yeah, like half of the tracks are not on the YouTube Music platform.
there. Yeah,
At
Or
least
on
that's
in that
Apple
album,
Music.
they exist on the platform, but they don't exist on this album for some of them. Like
very strange.
the Bella's Lullaby exists, but only in the Twilight original motion picture score album. It
Yeah,
doesn't
it
exist
doesn't
as like the
appear.
single version of it that is in the soundtrack version.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was interesting that they on the soundtrack that they put incidental music on there,
So
like instead of the score.
Bella's Lullaby is like one of the like it's probably like the most central theme.
Ah, like a leitmotif, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's the two biggest and most important like motifs in the films, and also like the songs that like open some of the like the second film I think is like
Hmm.
Bella's Lullaby. Very iconic Twilight song, so that's why they put it on. It'd be like putting like I don't know, it's like it would be like when the Star Wars fanfare on something, even though I know Star Wars is not a good example of
Yeah, I understand.
but
Yeah.
like it would be like yeah, that's the theme. Or it's like how on the Shrek soundtrack,
Oh,
the
yeah.
last song on the Shrek soundtrack is the like main theme
Hmm.
from the Shrek movie.
That's right. Uh-huh.
So it's a similar thing where it's like it is a significant song that is actually like referenced constantly throughout the series.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There's I forget which song is. I think it's the Blue Foundation song. Is like reference a number of times in the movie. I think. Hmm.
It's an iconic song in the Twihard community. I can
Hmm.
speak to that for
Yeah, they make a
sure.
lot of memes with it.
Yeah.
The
People
ha 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 ha.
well, fall season, like I follow a number of Twilight pages and threads,
Hmm.
and fall season is equal to Hoa 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 season. HOA, which is the beginning. I'm not a singer, but Hoa 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 Hoa. People have I've seen people with tattoos that in the Twilight font, it
Oh.
has HOA.
Okay.
Like it
Wow.
is. I've considered getting that tattoo. I'm gonna be honest.
There's a song on the soundtrack, and I forgot to make the note, but it's like whenever she thinks of him or like she closes her eyes and thinks of him, it plays in the background, like it plays multiple times in the movie, and I don't remember which one it
That's the
is.
do 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 do
Do
do do.
Which one's that one?
The like Bella's
Bella's
lullaby, I think.
Lullaby motif.
But
Ah, I get
we'll talk about all this stuff when we get to it. I think we've chatted a lot already. It seems that we got a lot to talk about. So why don't we give it one last listen?
One thing that I know, you must have put my coat on.
Wow. What an album. We're bringing that back.
Thank you, Bell.
We're bringing it back.
Goes to Bell over here.
We open up with Supermassive Black Hole by the one and only Muse off
We-
of one of their good albums.
Yeah, we've covered this one before. We covered the album that it's on. Yeah, in fact, a banger. You get the single length version of the song. All I know that this scene because they parodied it on the show what we do in the shadows.
It's an iconic
They do like the baseball
The
scene.
baseball scene, yeah.
because that's where it comes from. This is the first time I'm here mostly for context. Bella gets a true introduction to the Cullens and how they have fun. And it is the
Baseball.
iconic vampire baseball scene. Also, some extra history for this song. And if you follow all of the soundtracks, the Twilight series, you'll see it as well. The Twilight book series, Stephanie Meyer, the author, gives a lot of credit to Muse. She calls Muse, the band Muse, was like her writing soundtrack for all of the Twilight films, or all the Twilight books, sorry. And in every single one of her book acknowledgments, she thinks,
All right.
yeah.
That tracks.
Interesting.
I mean, their album Origin of Symmetry is a banger.
The first like 3 albums are all very good.
And then they have some real stinkers.
And then Resistance was okay. And then
Yeah.
nothing that they've really made has been worth checking out since. And there's been some objectively really bad stuff that they've made.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
not,
I
okay,
will-
not objective
subjective.
because they thought it was good enough to put out. So subjectively pretty terrible. Matt Bellamy's just kind of gone too far up his own butt,
Oh, 100%.
like lyrically, and
Yeah.
it's hard to listen to.
What do you guys think of this song, though, Supermassive Black
This song,
Hole?
this
Oh,
song
it's a banger,
bangs.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like a bit of a detour compared to like the usual Muse track at the time, and this was like kind of when they were indulging their more kind of musical theater
Yeah.
leanings. Origin of Symmetry, that's the album that this is from, right?
No, this
No,
is
that's their
from
second
Black
album.
Holes and Revelations.
Black Holes and Revelations gets a little bit more theatrical than and less rock.
Hmm.
And this is like a bit of a detour in their catalog. It's kind of this like jagged guitars with buzzy synths and like a sexy pouty boy falsetto.
It feels urgent. It feels seductive.
It's like it's a horny track for sure.
Yeah. I
It's
really like
crazy.
the catchy
Supermassive
black hole. It's so dark. It's so gritty. It feels,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and the layered harmonies on the chorus, like
Mhm.
wishes melting in the dead of night.
Yeah,
It's very creepy. I also wrote the guitar riff that leads into the verse or to the chorus.
Mhm.
The
Or
verse,
the
that
ver- the verse. Yeah, it's so hard.
Yeah, it's
Oh
great.
God.
It's one like Adam was saying, it's one of the better Muse songs. Yeah, it was good when it came out, and 2 years later, still good. What's interesting is that because Spotify tracks the songs based on actually no, that's not true. On this one, all of them are labeled as this Twilight soundtrack version. So on the Twilight soundtrack version, it has 834 million plays just from the Twilight soundtrack.
Mine are merged. So on YouTube they're merged.
Oh, okay.
300. They both have 300 million views. The non-soundtrack version. So maybe that's the case.
me
I don't know.
double.
Sometimes
Oh no, you're right. You're right.
Spotify like gets that right, and sometimes they don't.
You are correct. They've actually merged them. So
Yeah.
Not just from the Twilight soundtrack. People are listening to it.
Yeah.
834
It's a fun track. It's got cosmic mystique and
million. Yeah.
a corny
Hmm.
level of horniness.
Yeah.
Horny level of yes, it is
A horny level of corniness or a corny level of horniness. Both
Yes.
work.
horny horniness. Then we get Paramore's Decode.
This song plays during the end credits. It's one
Oh.
of the many end credit songs.
What are the damn credits in this movie?
Very long.
I don't think
There's
they played the
3
whole
different-
song.
Fair.
They're
okay.
like 2 minutes.
They play this whole song.
Yeah,
This,
like, that's what I'm saying. But I think a lot of them, they're like, I don't think they played all of 15 Step.
this song was written specifically for Twilight by Paramore. It became the movie's lead single.
This song's not bad. It's the first of 2 written for the soundtrack,
Mm-hmm.
Specifically by Paramore.
specifically by
Yeah.
Paramore.
I was
Thank
like,
you.
technically, there's 3 written for the soundtrack, but 2 by Paramore.
Yeah.
Yes, excuse
Jamie.
me. Yeah, excuse me. Yeah.
No, I'm just trying to say correct.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's,
Yeah, it's still pretty early in Paramore's career at this point. This was like just after their breakout album Riot. And so it still has their more emo pop punky sound rather than the like pop sounds that they would explore later in their career.
mm-hmm.
But Hayley Williams is still like such a kick-ass vocalist.
Ugh.
If there's anything that I will never complain about in a Paramore song, it's probably Hayley Williams' vocals.
Again, I'm here giving context, but it really mirrors Bella's confusion about Edward with lines like, "How did we get here? I used to know you so well. What kind of man that you are, if you're a man at all." It really reflects Bella's determination in the movie to figure out what Edward and what the Cullens are,
Mm.
because she doesn't know right away, right? That they're vampires, and there's like this whole research scene. It's like this whole thing.
She's looking them up in the phone book.
Yeah, right. That's not it. My thoughts you can't decode, which is a line,
Mm.
is straight out of the plot of it all, because Edward, if you don't know, Edward can't read her thoughts. He has special vampire powers that only he can like read other people's thoughts, but he can't read Bella's.
Damn, penetrable.
It's just so
Fortress of
goddamn-
Solitude shit.
It's so angsty and it's such a
Mhm.
bop. Like, I feel like, just like you were saying, Hayley Williams, like her vocals carry both a sense of urgency and this sense of heartache and the sense of like needing to know. Angsty as hell. I'm a fan.
She did an interview. Oh, actually, I guess she responded to comments on their blog, Paramore's blog, and it was like she wrote the song before she had read the book,
Mm.
but she had been given like part of like the film treatment so that she could see the scenes,
Yeah.
like what was going on, and then they didn't put it in the movie; they put it in the credits.
Yeah.
So, but it's all related.
I don't think it would fit with the tone of the movie. Like in any scene. Like I don't think it would work as a interstitial music at any point.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how
I
these.
think it fits the vibe of Twilight. I don't think it would fit the vibe
Fair.
of this film specific, like any point in this film specifically. So I'm not surprised they put it in the credits.
I want to know how you get invited to write a song for a soundtrack. That's the interesting one.
It's gotta be popular, I guess.
No.
Another interesting point, the music video for Decode, because this was a single released specifically for Twilight, the music video for Decode it feels like it's just very similar to the movie. It's
Mhm.
misty, it's in a forest, it's moody as
Oh.
hell. It has not the exact same filter, but a similar sort of dark, as you were saying, like almost emo filter
Mhm.
over the whole music video.
Well, Paramore's music was sort of like vaguely emo,
Yeah.
pop punky emo
Scene.
scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you look at a picture of her on the tour for like where the album that this song eventually appeared on,
Yeah.
she's got scene girl hair.
Oh yeah.
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 So
Hayley Williams, another god of mine from my preteen era.
Sure.
For sure.
Yeah. It's a
I
cool
love
track.
Angry.
I like the big drums on it. The like emo
Mhm.
drum patterns and stuff are cool. I will say that I'm not a huge fan of the production on this one. The
Mm.
drums are a little blown out.
yes.
The guitar tone, especially on the solo, is awful. It sounds so bad.
It's just very
It's like papery. It's like so thin and whiny.
yeah. It's very of a time. It's very of that very loud.
It reminds me of a lot of like, yes, of the like late mid 2000s MySpace post MySpace metalcore and
Mhm.
like emo scene,
Mhm.
where there's like this kind of like low fineness to the production, but then they would bring it into like a studio with nicer production.
Yeah.
And so you'd have this like this whole track where this track is like so brutally compressed
Yes.
that like for a song that has these kind of like small these that's supposed to have this like small sections and then blow up into these big sections,
Yeah.
there's like no change in volume, so it like loses the impact. And then there's like even like clipping in the mixing. It's a shame because I think that the fact that they've compressed it so much, like it loses some of the dynamism from the dynamics from the
Yeah.
songwriting.
Mm.
The only thing it's really missing for me to be really of that era is the drum drums that sound like you're hitting a beer keg with an aluminum bat.
Yeah, we need a little bit more a little bit of a clickier kick and a little bit more of like a more garbage
The
can snare.
the the
Saint
Saint
Anger.
Anger drums, yeah.
Follow that up with the first one that you can't get on streaming, Full Moon by the Black Ghosts.
That's on Spotify. The previous track, by the way, has 422 million plays.
Paramore's huge.
Yeah.
It's also like it's just a good Paramore song. We kind of take a quick turn after getting these two or higher energy songs to a folk track, kind of.
It's like electronic and folk. I think it blends those two elements fairly well. It's also a really excellent start to the film. Here's my context again. This
Mhm.
is how we start the film.
Oh, this is the beginning song.
Yeah. So this is when we first see Bella as she's driving to Forks. And we get introduced to not only Bella, but like Forks in general. And I think it really the atmospheric moody vibes of the
Yeah.
song absolutely makes sense as an introduction
It's
to
definitely like
thing.
a song that I could picture. I've never seen the movie. You know, like the beginning of The Shining where they're like
They're driving.
yeah.
That's literally what happens.
Okay.
But through Forks.
You're literally watching a car drive through like the
forests of Washington.
upper left America.
Ah.
Yeah.
All right.
Pacific Northwest, baby.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Sure. There's a genius annotation for this song that I love. Someone just made, like how like at the bottom of the genius list where like after you get the lyrics it'll just provide some context like the song was written for blah 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 or whatever. It just says I really like this song. It's very interesting to me. And it has like 70 upvotes.
That's why they call it genius.
That's all it says. There's a couple of lyric annotations. But I didn't hate it. It's fine.
For me, it's like there's so many like components that I'm like, this is they like are almost cool,
Yeah.
but like nothing's used in like an interesting enough way. Like I feel like the drums are a little too dry, and also they kind of like ruin the vibe that the song opens with.
Yeah.
But I get how it's kind of like it adds a little bit of like slick energy to the starting of a film. I think in its context, it actually works. But as a song, the drums don't really develop into anything interesting. They're doing
No.
a very kind of rote drum beat. The strings come in. I'm like, ooh.
I love the strings.
The strings,
in this
the
song.
fiddle is like pretty nice.
So good.
But it doesn't. Again, they have it for a second. They don't really do anything interesting with it, and then they drop it.
I agree. I don't really like how the instruments, how loud it is. Like it feels like it drowns out the heart of the song. Like when the drums kick in, because I agree when the drums leave and when we really get to hear the strings is one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, there's nothing really that notable about it. I guess the only thing really that notable is that it's the song at the beginning of the movie.
It is cool that they're using an upright bass.
Yeah.
That's neat.
You don't see you see that. I guess you see that if you listen to a lot of Bare Naked Ladies, but
Well, otherwise, nowhere else.
nowhere else. Yeah.
This is one of the songs that I had no idea who the Black Ghosts were.
I still
Like an electronic.
Yeah, really they've been releasing
I think
music
they're
for years.
British?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing I read about them is that they had never really met before they like they collaborated online and then eventually got together as like a duo, which I thought is kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get into our friends Linkin Park. Rest.
Another ending credit song.
Yeah, it's okay.
More context, Stephanie Meyer is on record as a Linkin Park fan. She has cited the
Correct.
band among her many musical influences for the Twilight series. I really like his name, Chester Bennington's of
Bennington, yeah.
there you
Nice
go.
voice.
Of Linkin Park. I really like his voice in
He's an
this.
incredible vocalist.
I think it offers a lot of like, I don't know, fragile vulnerability in this song.
Yeah.
They tried to like sign him and not the rest of Linkin Park
Oh, really?
when they first like got found.
Yeah.
The studio was like, "Yo, we just want the singer,"
And he was
Huh.
like, no dice.
and he said, "No, I want the rest of the band," which I was like, "That's some respect."
So the album that this appears on, Rick Rubin produced, and I really like Rick Rubin because he has like the funniest way of saying something completely asinine.
Yeah,
So he produced his album, and he is quoted as saying that this song is going to be a massive single. It just had massive single energy, and that's not really very good insight, but that's the kind of insight you get from Rick Rubin.
but he was kind of right.
It went to number 94. It was kind of a medium single. It was the last single from Minutes to Midnight.
I think it's interesting because this song I think has had a longer lifespan than the rest of that album,
Yeah.
including the other singles. Because I think the main singles on that album were like
What I Done?
"What I've Done," but that was huge because of the Transformers. movie.
Transformers, yeah.
Yeah, that one has big single energy for sure. I honestly, this is like when, okay, hot take, Linkin Park was never really that good.
Oh. Ah.
Jesus.
You're
Yeah,
good. Ah.
and the only
Ooh.
reason if you go, but what about Hybrid Theory? It's because you listened to them when you were in high school or junior high.
Them's
I don't
fighting words.
really like a lot of Linkin Park, but I think, man,
I say this as somebody who's listened to a lot of Linkin Park in my
I
life.
don't know. Oh, I don't know, man. Oh, that's
Hybrid Theory's fine. Okay, they got lots of great songs, but they're not that good. Like as a band. And I
Oh.
think Chester Bennington's an amazing vocalist. And I think that the messages in their music that people resonate and connect with are great. But
I don't. It's not so. Your take is so lukewarm that I don't want to even call it like a hot take.
I just don't think they're that good.
It's yeah. It's just like I don't know if I could say yes, Adam. I agree with you. I think you're half right. I think they're very of a time, and I was never really a big fan of them when I was growing up, but I understand why people were.
Yeah. I was big into them when I was in junior high
Okay.
and like late in elementary school.
There were people in my high school that were very into them.
Yeah. They gave you that they gave you that connection, that pop music to metal pathway,
Yeah.
right?
I wasn't really into the rappy part of it, like the rap rock part of it wasn't
Yeah.
very good, but Chester Bennington's voice is very good.
Hmm.
So, I don't know. I'm just gonna I will say I am extremely dispassionate about whether Linkin Park is good or not.
They have a very, very dedicated fan base, and I think that's great.
Yeah.
But also this album sucks.
Minutes
I
Midnight,
will
it's
say
okay.
that say what you want. You can fight and defend Meteor and Hybrid Theory all you want, but Minutes to Midnight, I remember buying this album and putting it in and like listening to it. I got the CD. I remember getting home from HMV.
Ooh.
I put it into my like Sony boombox.
Oh yeah, keep going.
And I just laid on my bedroom floor and listened to it the whole way through twice.
Cool.
And I was like, "What's wrong?"
What am I missing? Yeah, I don't know.
So sappy on this one and so boring.
It's the
And
most commercially viable.
leave out all the
Maybe
rest.
not.
No,
Yeah.
I think it is. I think they got way too poppy. They lost so much edge on this album.
Yeah.
And leave out all the rest. Suffers from boring verse syndrome.
Ooh.
Or like I can never really remember it. But I will say the chorus really good.
Yes.
Really emotional. The delivery from Chester.
Yes.
It
And
really
I
sells
understand
it.
why it's on the soundtrack because it appeals to preteen girls.
It
Well,
also like matches like think about Edward. He
It-
is
Yes.
he's a vampire.
1,000%.
the chorus also it's talking about legacy.
Yeah.
Right? Like I wrote down the lyrics, when my time comes, forget the wrongs that I've done, help me leave behind some reasons to be missed. And it feels perfect for the closing
Yeah.
credits. I believe this is the first song in the closing credits. I
It's
might be wrong.
15 step is there.
Oh,
Oh,
you
this
might
might
be
be
right.
the second one.
Yeah. But because it talks about legacy, like it's absolutely reflective where Edward's head is currently at
Mhm.
Like, he's like
by the end of the film.
because he's like, I'm a vampire. I'm an evil thing. But I am so in love with this person, and I want them to be
Yeah.
in love with me, can they give up the fact that I've done terrible things? It's like very very much like lyrically relevant.
Well, this is also the end of the movie. We'll get to it when we get to like the prom songs, but Bella almost dies in Twilight,
Yeah.
right? Like she's hunted and she's in life or death, like she's in mortal peril. She is in absolute life and death danger. She almost dies because of Edward,
Mm-hmm.
because of his interaction with her.
Mhm.
So he's really feeling that push and pull of that legacy of like, I want this, but this is selfish and I'm not taking away, I don't want to take away her entire life.
Yeah.
Which leads us into New Moon when he leaves her. It's a whole thing.
Oh God.
Oh God, we really should do a watch of all of the movies afterwards.
They're
It's
actually
okay,
like, I
you can
will
think
say,
about it.
Shay made me watch all of them.
I did.
Okay.
It's not that it's pretty fun. They're
I-
like
It's not the worst thing you've ever watched.
they're pretty bad.
It's
but
still fun though.
It's still like a fun
I get
time.
you. I
They're
get
not, but
you.
they are. I will say, the first one
might be the worst.
is probably the worst of all of them, and then I would
Movie
say I would go so
wise.
far as to say Eclipse is like the good.
Here, here.
I would go so far as to say the third movie good,
Okay.
and then the back two are like bad, but mainly because they split themselves for no reason.
Are we on to the next song?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about
Spotlight.
Mute Math.
Spotlight. The
one of the many
Twilight mix.
one of the many indie bands. That's all I wrote from you, Math.
For some context, this is the song that plays when Bella gets out of the car, out of Edward's car at school, and their relationship becomes public. So they are like walking into school together. Everyone is like gobsmacked that Edward is, paying attention to anyone. And he puts his arm around her and he has this little smirk. And everyone's like,
What kind of car does a vampire drive?
an expensive one.
All right, that tracks.
I forget exactly what type of car it is, but all of them have very luxury cars because, when you've been alive for 100 years, you manage to accumulate wealth.
So how long has he been a vampire? At this
Edward?
point? Yeah,
About 100 years.
It's
100
like
year old.
104 in this movie or something.
Something like that,
I think
yeah.
So when this movie comes out, he was born in the 1800s, I guess.
I believe so, and he was changed in the early 1900s.
You don't think about too much, man. Don't think about too much.
All right.
Yeah, if you really want to go into that, another level of toxicity.
Yeah, why
is
does a
the age gap.
104-year-old guy want to hang out with high schoolers?
He's physically 17.
Yeah, I know, but
I'm just
like,
saying.
yeah.
Listen, if that's the only power, there's so many different power imbalances that are absolutely unhealthy.
So for context, in Twilight, when you become a vampire, you stay that age
Yeah.
eternally.
Yeah, forever 21. Yeah, I understand.
Similar, but forever 17. Yeah.
You
That's
would
wild.
definitely want to be. I would want to be old enough to drink if I was gonna get bit by a vampire. I'd be so annoyed.
I'm forever.
But they're
Ma-
they're
Guess you just get a
filthy.
fake ID.
They're filthy rich. They have little to no expenses. They don't eat. So
Well,
they
they do eat.
you see it later in
They
later
get a
in the
driver's
series,
license,
but
though.
but later in the series they have enough
Every time you
money
have to
that
renew
they
your
can
passport.
buy the very expensive like fake papers and stuff. So like
Yeah.
if they wanted to drink, it would not be too hard to get a fake ID.
Yeah, they
I'm
just
saying.
there's probably like there's also like a whole organization of vampires that I'm sure they're like there's probably like a whole guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, like,
yeah,
we
the
make
one-
fake
the-
passports for vampires.
Listen, that happens later in the series, but like
He gets a fake.
I like
vampire-
how she thought about the logistics of.
well
he
yeah,
gets a fake vampire passport.
in Breaking Dawn, she gets fake passports for Renesmee and Jacob because like
Wait.
the Valturi is coming to visit and
What's
like
Renesmee?
they're
That's her daughter.
that's her
Okay.
daughter. Again, spoiler alert.
It's named after the Renee and
Renee, which is Bella's mom, and Esme, which is Edward's mom.
yeah.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah.
Vampires have moms?
Well, adoptive mom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they just like
It's
they
still
act
real
as a
family,
They act
Jamie.
as a
I
family.
understand.
They act as a family unit, but they're just a coven or whatever.
Ooh, a coven.
Edward Coven.
Anyways, so Spotlight by Mute Math plays when Bella gets out of the car at school with Edward and their relationship becomes public. I really think this, especially the first half of the song, like it feels like something's gonna happen. Like it feels like we're on the precipice of something. And I think the drums, like the driving drums, give that
Sure.
to us.
This is one of those songs that's meant to sound like it's older than it is, I guess. It's like one of I don't know how to describe the genre that was very popular in the early to mid 2000s.
Like
Bands like
garage rock,
yeah, like
like the Hives.
the Hives. Yeah, I wrote that down. It's like this is like the stuff that the Hives was putting out.
Yeah, it's like the Hives, like kind of Franz Ferdinand,
Yeah.
the Strokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like just like garage rock.
Yeah, it's a resurgence of garage rock, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, like if you look up Mute Maths, this is by far their most popular song, by the way. But if you look up their thing, it's like they play vintage instruments and they wear vintage clothes and they record in a vintage way. But it's all very, of that period in time in the 2000s where all that was very popular again. And I like this song. It's not bad. I don't know what makes it the Twilight mix.
There's like that starting sound effects, and then
Oh,
the normal track, it's not that. That's like I think the only thing.
It was just reworked very slightly to give it a bit more to make more sense, like cinematic.
It's kind of a fun upbeat track, but I don't think it really does that much interesting with it. But interesting note, Paul Meany, who's like the main dude,
mm-hmm.
he's worked very closely with 21 Pilots for their
Oh.
past like since Trench.
Mm-hmm.
He worked on them with
Okay.
Trench and has been like basically working with them quite a bit since then. Interesting.
21 Pilots, of course, was one of our lowest rated picks.
This is pre Paul Meany though. That was. I remember. I only knew Mute Math because I think they were in one of the NHL soundtracks.
That tracks. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that. It seems like one of the songs that would be on like a soundtrack to an MLB game.
Yeah.
Or one of those. Yeah, I can see that. Sure. Back in the EA tracks era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad.
I think
It
the
doesn't
chorus
really.
is catchy.
Yeah, sure. It doesn't really stand out in any way in particular, which is fine. Like if you're just making music to put on a soundtrack, that's great.
Yeah, my favorite part of the song is like I said, it feels like we're on like the precipice of something. I really enjoy how the drums like carry it forward. Crisp is something I wrote down, and how catchy the chorus is.
Mm-hmm.
And it just feels like a perfect level of like confrontation contextually, because like oh shit, everyone knows, here come the opinions. And so for a teen high school girl perspective,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. Oh, interesting. These guys became popular as part of MySpace. Okay, I can see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
100%. Sure.
This is very MySpace era. This whole.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we go into the next track. Go all the way into the Twilight.
This song is not available on any major streaming service. I had to look it up on Used. This is by Perry Farrell from Jane's Juana's Addiction. Jane's Addiction. It's okay. Perry Farrell's a weird dude. He likes to call himself the godfather of alternative. I don't know if that's true. He's just an old dude who got into the scene before everybody else. So I guess that maybe makes him the godfather of it.
this
I
is
don't think this song's very good.
No.
contextually, again, to give some context, this is the song that plays near the end of the movie when Bella and Edward, so this is after Bella almost dies, she recovers with a broken leg.
Oh no.
So she has a cast on in her little prom dress, and it plays when Bella and Edward first walk into the school dance.
Okay.
I think I think it's fun that it has the lyric "Let's go into Twilight." That feels just very fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely cheesy as all hell. Like there's the one where it's like the speaking line and she goes, "I'm gonna let you have it like you've never had it before." And I'm like, "Oh." Like it's so cheesy. It's very teen mindset. Like, let's go all the way. Go all the way with me tonight.
Uh-huh.
But I also I know you don't like the song, Adam, but I do enjoy the blending of like the rock elements and then the synth as
Yeah.
well.
It's not bad.
Like I think it's a lot of fun. I don't know if this is true, but it feels like an ode.
Oh yeah, it's
influence,
very
you
like
know?
electropop.
Yeah.
It's electropop disco kind of stuff.
The song was co-written by Atticus Ross, which I find interesting because it's terrible.
And usually he's better than that.
There are 3 co-writers on it. One of them is Perry Farrell. The other guy I can't remember. That is the most interesting thing I can say about it, is that Atticus Ross had some hand in it.
To me, the vocals are kind of annoying.
I
and
thought
the
there was
melodies
I thought there was another vocalist, but that's just Perry Farrell twice.
the women's voice.
Yeah, I thought
It's just pitched up.
yeah, it's just Perry Farrell. Yeah.
It's annoying.
No, okay, I have a different opinion. I like the duet style vocals. I think it adds texture that the song didn't have.
Well, the song doesn't have any texture, so
Then we should be grateful for the texture it has.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just
I see your
doesn't
point,
it just
but-
doesn't hit for me. I think it
it is definitely a song written for a soundtrack. Why it isn't on any major streaming service, I can't figure out.
it is on YouTube Music,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know if Perry Farrell like publishes to streaming platforms. Maybe.
Mm.
Yeah, he sort of does. He has a lot of his latest stuff on there, but anything older than that is sort of hard to. Again, Perry Farrell, weird dude. I don't know. He gets in a lot of feuds with people. That's the only thing I really know about him. He doesn't really like the members of Jane's Addiction, which is his band.
Yeah, he
Or-
he like punched Dave Navarro like a year ago.
Yeah, not even. I think it was earlier this year.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
very recently, and I was like, "What?"
And also, I forgot Dave Navarro was in Jane's Addiction.
Yeah,
Shout out to Dave Navarro, I guess.
it's just like that's crazy, dude. You're so old. Why are you punching people?
God.
Anyways, we get to move on to another '90s legends, Collective Soul.
Another band who I had no idea who they were before this soundtrack.
You're not missing anything. Collective Soul was okay in the 90s, but because Stephanie Meyer grew up, like came of age in the mid 90s,
Yeah.
this is music that she listened to when she was in university.
Yeah, because this song came out in like late 90s.
In like 98. Yeah.
Yeah.
The band said that they loved that they were featured on the soundtrack because it gave them a resurgence of popularity. They were going to
Yeah.
hang it up.
This song is used in the scene when Edward saves Bella from a van accident, and fans later referred to this song specifically as Edward's rescue theme.
Okay, sure. All right.
I'm here to give context, baby. That's it.
Yeah, Stephanie Meyer being a huge fan of Collective Soul wasn't something I had on my bingo card, but I guess.
It gives like obviously it's from the 90s, and it gives us that
Yeah.
alternative alt rock vibes.
Oh yeah, for sure. Collective Soul is kind of an interesting band. I won't call them good, but they had a couple of hits. I think you're right. Shine was their big hit. Is their big hit. I don't know if
They're
I
really
could-
a one-hit wonder. Like,
Yeah, they have another song called December. I don't remember it being like amazing. I remember that. But yeah, they only have
yeah, they're still kicking. I think this song's okay. I think that the guitar riff, that it's
That's
pretty
okay.
cool. The filters on it are neat. It's pretty forgettable.
Definitely one of my least favorite.
Yeah, it's just not
album.
too very compelling in any section.
it has the least amount of plays on Spotify.
I'm not surprised. If my memory is serving me correctly, not a lot of it plays.
Yeah, it's not in the. Then we move on to "I Caught Myself" by Paramore.
The second song Paramore wrote specifically for this movie. Context: this plays during Bella's dress shopping scene when she's in Port Angeles with characters Angela and Jessica shopping for prom dresses.
That is the note I wrote down too. According to the band's live journal, I wrote in here, pause to make people remember what live journal. This song was written in 2007, but adapted for the movies. It is predictably about boy troubles.
Yep. And I think it's absolutely about that. It's about not liking who you become around someone you're obsessed with. It's spot on for all of the themes of Twilight. Personally, this song is so angsty,
Mm-hmm.
and just credit to Hayley Williams. Her vocals are so incredible and moving. My favorite part about this song, an absolute highlight of the track, is how moving her vocals are.
She does a lot with what I won't call terrible lyrics, but also
Angsty.
very, yeah, her voice does a lot to emote lyrics that are kind of very one, but it's not a terrible
She's
song.
also like 19 when they recorded this song.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
Yeah,
Very
How
young.
old is Hailey Williams?
like she was born in '88.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. So she's the same age as I am.
Yeah,
So yeah, she was like 19 or 20.
which is
or whatever.
crazy.
I will say there is a part in this song where it feels like it should get bigger. It feels like we should reach some sort of bigger catharsis.
Yeah, nothing happens.
And we don't, it just gets soft and the drums go out, which is still very moving. Because again, I could listen to Hayley Williams sing the ABCs and I'd probably be happy. Like, I just love her so much.
Now you know your ABCs.
Ooh, because of Hayley Williams.
Hayley Williams.
Thank you. Yeah, so it does feel like it's lacking this, like, it doesn't reach its full potential
It
of
loses energy.
catharsis,
Yeah.
but its ending is like with the pointed drums, the I should have never thought, and like that, oh, it hits like the inside of my arms tingle.
Ooh.
Again, wrapped up, biased in nostalgia,
Mhm.
but there's with the vocals are the absolute highlight of this. I'll repeat it 5,000 times.
Yeah, my issues with it the same as like the previous Paramore track. A little
As
too
Decode.
compressed.
Yeah, it's muddy.
And then like
sounding.
when it
Yeah.
gets to that big emotional part, the track, like the backing tracks are so painfully boring under her vocals. It's just like do 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 do. I'm like, that's
Mhm.
it? That's it?
That's all you get.
Yeah. But fine song. But I think that we really move into like the back part of this album. I think we got some heaters up ahead.
Ooh.
Eyes on Fire by Blue Foundation.
Another band who I had no idea who they were until this soundtrack.
I watched a clip where this song appears in the movie, and
It's when Bella is being hunted by bad guy vampire James near the climax of the movie. This is what we were talking about earlier. This is the Hoa Hoa Hoa.
Mhm.
It has become a whole thing. A whole
thing.
a
It's become a
whole
whole thing.
Boom.
It's become a whole thing. This song specifically, the Hoa Hoa Hoa, like it is widely used then and now in fan edits, in trailers, in memes, and like I said
It's a song
earlier,
on. It's a sound
tattoos.
on TikTok. You get that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you get that a lot. It's kind of funny actually.
There's lots of
100%.
fresh comments on this track on YouTube
Oh, I know.
that are all of it's Hoa 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 season again.
Yeah,
They're Swedish or something, or
something like that.
something like that. You get like a little Swedish girl doing the vocals. It's not bad. It's exactly what you're gonna get out of a like a weird Swedish group.
I enjoy the smoky, like I'm using vibes a lot, but smoky vibes.
I understand what you mean.
Yeah, I like it, like
This is
the
very.
down.
We
down-tempo.
overuse the word ethereal sometimes.
It does
Definitely.
feel kind of like you're being hypnotized a little bit. Like
You're being hoa hoa.
take me. My body is ready. It also gives I grew up in dance,
Mm.
and so it gives like contemporary dance solo vibes.
Why do I understand what you mean by that?
It's you only really have to see a couple contemporary dance solos
Sure.
before you're like, oh yeah. I could see a very angsty 15-year-old doing jetés and side splits with it.
Yeah, I think this one's a really cool track because it there's not a lot going on at any time, but it lets the textures kind of speak for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
There's these tense strings under playing the like soul guitar with the vocals.
Mm-hmm.
The
There's
guitar
kinda
is
like
very
these-
plodding too.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's these detuned synths. The like offbeat like hoa 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 moans are like really interesting. It's cool and there's space in the mix to like let each like to let because they leave so much space in the mix. It lets each of these like swells actually feel like an impact. Paramore. It's a good example of a song that does a lot with just space and atmosphere, and it makes its like build at the end feel earned and quite big.
Mhm.
I love one of my favorite part of the song is when the music really swells into the second last. I think it's the second last chorus. I find it very powerful and like they earned it.
Sure.
They
Yeah, I
earned that
understand what you're saying.
swell.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like the pacing on the song. The song is 5 minutes long, but it feels an appropriate length.
yeah. It doesn't feel like 5 minutes. It because I think it does such a good job of introducing a interesting idea pretty frequently, even if it's a very simple idea, like just adding some tense string or adding some extra reverb and texture. It's a really well crafted track.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. And now we move to the Never Think by the one and only Edward Cullen himself, Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, it turns out Robert Pattinson has been doing music for like years before he appeared in the movie. He's very good at hiding that he has an accent, and you get some like Cat Stevens X Van Morrison guitar. Van Morrison does a lot of stuff in his music, especially on the Moondance album, where you get like a little soft chord, and then at the end of the little thing, he does like this really loud part, and Robert Pattinson copies that perfectly on this track. This is not on streaming services. I had to hunt this one down, and some of the
Mm.
comments on these old videos are hilarious.
Do you have any highlights?
There was one I wrote down, and I was trying to figure out the context for it. It just says, "This song makes me feel dirty," and I was like, I wonder how old this person was that made this comment in 2009.
I like there's the comment on the one. So the one on YouTube that basically you can find
Yeah.
is a slideshow.
Oh, tight.
It's like a slideshow of photos of Edward Cullen, and then the lyrics come in. But the top comment on that video is just like, "As soon as I so call me by my name," as soon as me crying.
It does feel, I wrote down, it feels like in high school when a boyfriend writes, again, very heteronormative, but feels like when a boyfriend writes a song for his girlfriend and gives it to her on a burned CD or something. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it feels very that. I do enjoy how intimate this entire song feels like, because it's just the acoustic guitar. It's just these
Mm-hmm.
very raw sounding vocals from Robert Pattinson. And compared to other songs on this soundtrack, it's just so stripped down in general. For some context, this song plays during the restaurant scene at Cafe Bella in Port
Ah.
Angeles, where Bella and Edward like really talk for the first time and they have dinner together for the first time. What's interesting is that Robert Pattinson initially refused to let this song be used, but the director, Catherine Hardwicke, the director of Twilight, the movie, she insisted. There was like a Entertainment Weekly article where she's quoted saying, "In the beginning, Pattinson was adamant that none of his songs be used, but
Do you know why he didn't want it to be used?
I don't think he thought it fit."
Mm.
Like, but he co-wrote this song with his musician friends Marcus Foster and Bobby Long, who I don't know who either of them
At Kylie7277 says,
are.
"This makes me both want to cry and die. Thank you."
Listen, teen angst. Does it ever hit it on the head? I think.
I think it's a really nice song, and he's got quite a good voice, even though I can't understand what he's saying.
No,
Not at all.
yeah, he's a little, yeah.
But it's funny because I feel like most of my knowledge of his musical output is through what he did with Death Grips.
Oh, yeah.
Very different
Which
vibes.
is so funny to me.
Yeah.
But it's really cool. Robert Pattinson is, I think
being-
he resented his role as Edward for a long time because it became something that he had to escape,
Yeah, that's
right? Like
fair. He was
he had
typecast.
to prove himself as not that thing.
He was dating FKA Twigs for a while, wasn't
I believe that, but I don't know. But I believe it.
he? Surprisingly not awful from actor.
He's a great actor.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm so happy that he and like Daniel Radcliffe and stuff have like,
Daniel Radcliffe
Both
has
of, like-
really had a resurgence in popularity.
and he's also been doing whack stuff. Like he's
Yeah,
just been doing the
100%.
weirdest stuff. He's like, I'm gonna do the like, he did that Swiss Army Man. He
Yeah.
plays a corpse, and then
Oh.
like
Is he in the Lighthouse? No, that's Robert
that's
That's
Robert
Robert.
Pattinson.
Yeah.
But he did play Weird Al Yankovic in
The Weird Al. Yeah,
Yeah.
that movie is great, by the way, if you haven't seen it.
But yeah, it's a
We're
really
gonna
sweet,
get weird.
really sweet acoustic track, and then that leads into another sweet kind of acoustic track,
I get
Flightless
Iron and
Bird.
Wine.
Flightless Bird, American Mouth,
Get some a little bit of accordion at the beginning too.
undisputed banger. Okay,
Yeah, it's not bad. It's pretty
this
good.
song's beautiful. I
Iron and Wine is the stage name of the feller.
Sam Beam.
That's him.
This is definitely one of the more delicate songs on the
That's a good way of
soundtrack.
putting it.
Like it kind of speaks. Even though I remember first hearing this song and I was like, I don't know what any of this means. I am a fat house cat. Like it just felt very silly, but it's actually quite bittersweet. Like the whole vibe of the song, they're kind of about like innocence and love, and it just feels very, yeah, absolutely one of the strongest bangers on the soundtrack.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
it's not bad.
already a big Iron and Wine. I really loved the first several Iron and Wine albums, and this is I think one of his best songs. His lyrics are beautiful. They're cryptic and singing of something like lost, the search for it, and the realization that by the time you found it, it's changed. Maybe it's
Hmm.
become less than what it was, or maybe it's different.
And with that, it's perfect placement in the movie. It happens at the very end when Bella and Edward slow dance together at the
Mhm.
prom.
Yeah, it tracks.
And so tonally, it is just nail on the head for the end.
Really, really beautiful arrangement.
Fun fact, it was actually chosen by this song was suggested by Kristen Stewart herself.
I can see
Mm.
that.
Yeah, she she suggested it to director Catherine Hardwicke,
And then
and
don't
they
they bring
listened.
it back for like the wedding and later?
I think so. I'm gonna have to rewatch Breaking Dawn Part 1, and I'll let you know.
That was
We'll
back
report
when
back.
it was okay to split a movie up at the end because Harry Potter had just done it.
Harry Potter did it, and no movie has ever earned the ability to actually do that.
I mean,
Mockingjay certainly did.
yeah, I was gonna say that one didn't need to be split up. It did
Deathly
need to
Hollows
be.
didn't need to be split up. The first part of Deathly Hollows is so boring.
Yeah,
What they
and then
should have split up? They could have split up Goblet of Fire. Enough happens in Goblet of Fire that you could have had like
It's true.
one movie be like the first half of the year, and the second half be like the Cup.
the Hobbit movies.
Oh yeah, the Hobbit movies. That was crazy that they split the shortest and simplest book in the entire series up into 3 movies. So stupid.
They should have split the all more of the Lord of the Rings movies up because some of those movies are very long. By the way, if you've ever sat down to watch them,
Oh yeah, they're
if
all
you
very
watch
long.
like the final cut of all of them, it's like isn't it like 14 hours or something like that?
It's like I think 11 hours of actual movie,
Ugh.
It
but
took
it's
a long
14
time.
hours because they have fan credits.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
During the pandemic, Adam and I rewatched the Lord of the Rings series director.
The extended,
And
yeah,
the extended, yeah, and it took forever.
we did not watch them in a. I think marathoning them is the stupidest way to do it.
100%.
No one you're gonna not want to watch a movie after like 4 hours of watching movies. You're gonna be like, I'm good.
Yep.
So we split them over a few nights.
Yeah,
But yeah, Iron and Wine, Play the Spirit American Mouth. I think it's an amazing track. 10 out of 10.
I agree.
Next song is the famous Bella's Lullaby, composed by Carter. This song it's used when Edward plays the piano for Bella.
Hmm.
Some history for this. Fans debated, me included, about what Bella's Lullaby would sound like for months before the movie.
So for reference, Edward writes a song for Bella.
Ah,
And so it's an important piece in the books, and so it was just, yeah, it was very important about what it would actually sound like. So I think there's a lot of pressure because it's a heck of a thing when you put a originally composed song into a book and they're like, okay, I have to compose this thing that is like filled with melancholy but also romantic, and what they ended up doing is creating this like lullaby theme, and it reoccurs as a motif throughout the duration of the film series.
Hmm.
The piano that do 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 is a staple motif throughout the rest of the series.
I don't envy Carter Burwell having to figure out what that would sound like because it was probably like widely debated, like you were saying.
I mean, he was up to the task. He's a Carter Burwell, very established
Yeah,
composer who's been nominated for Best Original Score several times.
Mm.
he does most of the music from any of the Coen brother movies.
He scored like Her, I think, for Spike Jones and stuff. Like he's
Yeah,
done, or I think he did Where the Wild Things Are. No Country for Old Men. I feel like No Country for Old Men was a pretty easy one to score. There's like 10 minutes of music in that entire film.
yeah. He also did. He received the Academy Award nominations for Carol, 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri, and
Yeah.
the Banshees of Inisherin.
Yeah, the dude's done a lot. He's very established in a lot of great music. So
Yeah,
and his work on Twilight also great.
it's in his discography. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did Twilight and then Breaking Dawn parts 1 and 2.
Yeah, that makes sense. He'd come back for the final
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, he did the score for the Born Identity. Hell yeah.
Yeah, well, they was replaced though.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's cool that you got these two major motifs to get this kind of mysterious that like has that kind of tension, but then you also get this really, really beautiful like flowing piano riff that's just like
Mm.
it's absolutely gorgeous. The main hook though, it sounds like you discovered something in a video game. It sounds like you opened a new room and it goes do 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 do. You're like, oh, like you opened a chest, and that takes us to the end.
Yeah.
The original Twilight movie soundtrack.
Let's talk about the record itself.
So Shea, your version is the marbled vinyl, eh?
It is. So the original pressing of this was just like a black vinyl,
Yeah.
but I think it was my birthday this year that Adam gifted me the actual soundtrack, and the disc itself is incredibly beautiful.
Yeah, it's on like this like gray marbly vinyl.
It feels perfect for the mist and the fog
Yeah.
of Forks of Twilight. Feels perfectly moody, but it's also so pretty.
Yeah, the variant's specifically called Marbled Mercury.
That's the word. Yes, that's what I saw on the Discogs. It's got a great sleeve though, doesn't it? Eh?
It has a nice paper inner
Mhm.
with printing that has all of the tracks on it. No lyrics, just the rights. And
Oh,
then on
like the ASCAP, yeah.
Yeah, and then on the back, a super corny, melodramatic,
Very of a time.
like pictures of the cast.
Well, you have the Cullen family, and then you have
Bad boys.
James, Laurent, and Victoria.
I feel like they're
The
I feel
antagonists
like
of
the
the movie.
I feel like they kind of did the other major characters of the movie dirty. Like, there's her dad's not here. Her
They don't
friends
get
aren't there.
That's fair, but they don't get super important until later in the series
Ah.
anyways. Like, if you're talking protagonists v antagonists, it is the three of them plus v the Cullens plus Bella.
Yeah.
Okay, riddle me this. Does Twilight also have werewolves in it?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah. Good job, Jamie.
Thank you.
It does.
People be knowing things.
We
Which
didn't
you really don't get into until like New Moon,
I gotcha.
and we can get into the whole problematic issue of Stephanie Meyer just taking the actual indigenous tribe that lives on La Push just outside of Forks, and how she's like, yeah, werewolves, it's culturally like, anyways, but that's a whole other sociological, anthropological messed up thing that Stephanie
Mhm.
Meyer did. But anyways,
Something that isn't sociologically or anthropologically messed up is the fact that the front cover of the album is the same as the poster for the film.
Oh,
It does not use the iconic apple that is on the cover of the original, and on the back of the outer is just the list of tracks, but also a slight printing error where the top of the movie credits are slightly cut off at the very top. I
Oh,
don't know if
that's-
that's a common error
I don't know.
across all of them or not. Yeah, kind of neat. And it's like actually pretty nice.
Yeah, it's a nice package.
It's for what it for. Yeah, I was disappointed that there was like no posters or anything, but
Yeah.
maybe I should be thankful because now I don't have to have them up in my house.
Ah.
Yeah. So I think this is a 2025 repressing.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
2024 maybe. It's very recent. So there was like there weren't any of these for a long time, and that's why I ended up picking this one up for Shea as a gift, because when I saw that they were doing a repressing, I thought, "Oh, perfect."
You're saying they were
Because there was nothing from like there was like 2008, and when
Yeah.
it was 2008, they weren't making that many of them.
you had to get a repressing
Like
because
the-
the recording was repressed. Oh.
Jesus.
Yeah, in 2008 though, like that was a very low period for vinyl consumption.
Yeah.
So like the fact that it got any vinyl pressing was kind of crazy.
I remember you used to be able to pick up vinyl for like 50 cents.
Yeah. They used
And
to-
like good pressings, not even bad ones.
Yeah,
Wow.
but no one was making it. Like lots of modern music wasn't being pressed
No.
to vinyl. So there's there's like a good chunk of like 2000s era, like early 2000s, late 90s stuff that's still only recently getting repressing.
Yeah.
Because everyone was buying CDs or cassettes.
Or just stealing it.
Yeah, and then downloading it, and then they realized that there's actually a decent amount of money to be made in the production of vinyl because you got geeks like us
Mhm.
who will make no one makes a podcast about downloading music. Whoa.
Hey,
We should switch. Maybe we should pivot.
I'm a computer. Stop all the
The
downloading.
digital diatribe. Jamie, what's your final verdict?
You know, it's interesting. this isn't gonna get me to watch the movies. Maybe I will. Who knows? But I didn't hate it. Like it's a good collection of songs that are very of that time capsule or that moment in time. Yeah, it's okay. As a soundtrack, there's some songs that are on it that are kind of weaker than others. I could have done without the Collective Soul and the Perry Farrell song, but it's not a very long soundtrack to begin with,
No.
so it was probably good that they left them on. I put it in the third spot, fourth spot. Well,
The Vampire Weekend, Room for Squares, Twilight Motion Picture Soundtrack,
oh, and then the
Dire Straits.
Dire Straits. Yeah, I put it in the third spot above Room for Squares. I thought it was a little bit better than John Mayer, which is also, well, no, that was 7 years before that. But John Mayer's Room for Squares is also very of a time. But I like the soundtrack. It's fine. It is definitely perfect for the subject matter. Adam, what'd you think?
I think it's a pretty good collection of tunes. I think that there's a dip in the middle in terms of the quality of songs, but it opens with like 3 or 4 pretty decent tracks and it closes with 4 decent tracks, which is a pretty good hit. It's an interesting mishmash. It's cool to hear the context of the songs. And it is
welcome.
very much transports you to an era and a scene of like indie pop and indie folk that was happening at the time. And it's kind of a cool time capsule. And yeah, I enjoyed it. It's going in my number 3 spot
Oh, same place.
above Dire Straits' Alchemy and below John Mayer's Room for Squares. I think. I can't remember what I ranked. So
We really got to start
we'll have
another.
the correct ones on screen
Yeah.
if you're watching, and if you're not watching, then start watching.
And if you don't know, now you know.
And Shea, what's your final verdict? Oh yeah, we skipped. Okay,
It's fine.
yeah, we'll do your final verdict, then we'll talk about the album itself. I'll insert it.
So, like I said at the beginning, my opinion of this whole soundtrack is steeped in bias and nostalgia, and because I am like my 12-year-old self
Twihard.
is a twihard, and it's something that I'm embracing. It feels like embracing my like inner child by just letting
Mhm.
myself love embarrassing and cringy things like Twilight. There's something really fun about being in that community. But this soundtrack, at the time and now, I love the sense of longing, vulnerability, and tension that you can get from the story, even just through like listening to the album itself. I love the haunting beauty that runs through this collection of songs. It feels like a lot of different layers in there. And yeah, my final verdict is I liked it. And I liked it then. And with hindsight, 2020, all that, I like it now. I think it's excellent.
Well,
I also want to say thank you, Jamie and Adam, for
Mhm.
having me on. It can feel very silly to talk about Twilight as a full adult human with the excitement and the love that I have for it. But there's a lot to make fun of about Twilight, book, movie, everything of it.
Mhm.
But then there's also a lot to appreciate. The soundtrack, absolutely.
Sure.
This was foundational and incredibly influential in my preteen, teen, and adult life. So thank you both for having me on to talk about one of my favorite soundtracks ever.
thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah.
We'll have you on again soon, I'm sure.
Next time, Hairspray?
Maybe
Yeah, sure.
we could bring on. I would love to talk about Hairspray. That's a fun one.
Hairspray or hair.
Or
Either
hair.
one.
We have hair. We don't have Hairspray.
Listen, we can get Christmas is coming up,
This is true. This is true.
Mr. Saunders.
Who knows what the future holds?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks so much, listener. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.